Hello, today's daily reading comes from the book of the Apocrypha. We are reading from the book of Enoch, chapter 71, and it reads as follows. And it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the heavens, and I saw the holy sons of God. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment and their faces shone like snow. And I saw the streams of fire, and the light that fire shone like hyacinth, and I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand and lifted me up and led me out into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars and all the luminaries, from where they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens, and I saw there as it was a structure built on crystals, and between those crystals tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt the house, and around were seraphim, cherubim, and ophanim. And these are they who sleep not and guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phanuel and the holy angels who are above the heavens go in and out of that house. And they came out from that house, and Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel and many holy angels without number. And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings which went out my mouth were well pleasing before the head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and tens of thousands of angels without number. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice, and said unto me, This is the Son of Man who is born unto righteousness, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteousness of the head of days forsakes him not. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto you peace in the name of the world to come, for from hence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so will it be unto you forever and forever and ever. And all will walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsakes him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage, and they will not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so there will be length of days with the Son of Man, and the righteous will have peace and an upright way in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. Chapter 72. The book of the course of luminaries of the heaven, of the relations of each according to their classes, their dominions and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world and unto eternity, until the new creation is accomplished, which endures until eternity. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals of the heaven, and its setting in the western portals of the heaven. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises, and 6 portals in which the sun sets, and the moon rises and sets in these portals, and the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead, 6 in the cast, and six in the east, and 6 in the west, and all following each other in accurately corresponding order. Also many windows to the right and left of the portals. The first there goes out in the great luminary named the sun, and his circumstances is like the circumference of the heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal and shines in the face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the fourth, those 6 portals in the cast. And in the fourth portal from which the sun rises in the first month are 12 window openings, from which proceed a flame when they are opened in their seasons. When the sun rises in the heaven, he comes out through that fourth portal 30 mornings in succession, and sets accurately in the fourth portal in the west of the heaven. And during this period, the day becomes daily longer and the night nightly shorter to the 13th morning. On that day, the day is longer than the night by a ninth part, and the day amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun rises from the fourth portal and sets in the fourth, and returns to the fifth portal of the east 30 mornings, and rises from it and sets in the fourth portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts and amounts to 11 parts, and the night becomes shorter and amounts to 7 parts. And it returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal, and rises and sets in the sixth portal 1 and 30 mornings on account of its sign. On that day, the day becomes longer than the night, and the day becomes double the night, and the day becomes 12 parts, and the night is shortened and becomes 6 parts, and the sun mounts up and makes the day shorter and the night longer, and the sun returns to the east and enters into the sixth portal and rises from it and sets 30 mornings. And when 30 mornings are accomplished, the day decreases by exactly 1 part and becomes 11 parts, and the night 7. And the sun goes out from the sixth portal in the west and goes to the east and rises in the fifth portal for 30 mornings and sets in the west again in the fifth western portal. On that day, the day decreases by 2 parts and amounts to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts, and the sun goes out from the fifth portal and sets in the fourth portal for 31 mornings on account of its sign, and sets in the west. On that day, the day is equalized with the night and becomes of equal length. And the night amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts. And the sun rises from the portal and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises 30 mornings in the third portal, and sets in the night and sets in the west in the third portal. And on that day the night becomes longer than the day, and the night becomes longer than night, and day shorter than day until the 13th morning. And the night amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the day to 8 parts. And the sun rises from that third portal and sets in the third portal in the west and returns to the east, and for 30 mornings rises in the second portal in the east, and in like manner sets in the second portal in the west of the heaven. And on that day the night amounts to 11 parts, and the day of the 7 parts, and of the sun rises on that day from that second portal, and sets in the west in the second portal, and returns to the east into the first portal for 1 and 30 mornings, and sets in the first portal in the west of the heavens. And on that day the night becomes longer and amounts to the double of the day, and the night amounts exactly to 12 parts, and the day to 6. And the sun has therewith transversed the divisions of his orbit, and turns again on those divisions of his orbit, and enters that portal 30 mornings, and sets also in the west opposite to it. And on that night has the night decreased in length by a ninth part, and the night has become 11 parts, and the day 7 parts. And the sun is returned and entered into the second portal in the east, and returns on those his divisions of the orbit for 30 mornings, rising and setting. And on that day the night decreases in length, and the night amounts to 10 parts, and the day to 8. And on that day the sun rises from that portal, and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises in the third portal for 1 and 30 mornings, and sets in the west of the heaven. On that day the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts, and the night is equal to the day, and the year is exactly as to its days 364. And the length of the day and of the night, and the shortness of the day and of the night, arise through the course of the sun. These distinctions are made. So it comes to this, that it comes that its course becomes daily longer, and its course nightly shorter. And this is the law and the course of the sun. And his return, as often as he returns 60 times and rises, i.e., the great luminary which is named the sun forever and ever. And that which rises is the great luminary, and is so named according to its appearance, according as the Lord commanded. As he rises, so he sets, and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night, and his light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. But as regards size, they are both equal. Amen.